Hi, my name's Arden Hanley, a property investor. One of the things I want to talk about right now is something that a lot of landlords are not aware of, but it's a type of thing that can trip you up and potentially have fairly serious financial consequences. So, you've probably already heard of GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations. There's been a lot in the news about that. What you may not know is that as a landlord, you need to be registered for GDPR. You personally need to be registered with the Information Commissioner's Office. Now, a lot of people say, but hang on, isn't that my lettings agent's job? Because they're the one dealing with the tenant, dealing with the opt-in and opt-out of marketing and all of the reference checks and everything like that. Well, it's absolutely true that the lettings agent does need to be registered for GDPR because they're consumer facing, they're advertising to people, they might be sending your prospective tenants messages about properties that they might be interested to rent. However, you as a landlord also need to meet your GDPR obligations. Now, this is down to what's in the legislation. So, as a landlord, we think about some of the information that might come into our hands. Things like the tenant's name, their email address, their telephone number. If that's included in the tenancy agreement, that's actually the tenant's sensitive personal information. So you come under all of those data handling rules. Also, what if the lettings agent sends you a copy of the referencing report and it has details like the tenant's date of birth, their national insurance number, maybe even a photocopy of their passport or their proof of address? You need to make sure that you're storing that information safely and securely and that you're being sensitive with people's personal data. And then we think about the next thing that happens as a landlord. You've got a contract with that tenant, don't you? And that contract goes for a period of time. So you need to store details of that tenant for the period of the contract. What happens if at some point during the tenancy you decide to swap lettings agents? You also need to store that information as well to protect your commercial position. And the last reason you as a landlord need to store information and why you're covered under GDPR is because you have a legal obligation to do so. When the tenant pays you rent, that rent that you receive will form part of your tax return that goes back to HMRC. And you've got a requirement to store those records for 6 years plus the current tax year. So you've got to store information about that tenant and their payment history in relation to the property you're renting out to them for the next 7 years. So all of those reasons mean that it's really important for you as a landlord to be registered under GDPR legislation. So that's something you need to go to the Information Commissioner's Office website and do. And of course, if you own properties in more than one business structure, or you own some properties in your own name and some jointly with a spouse or a business partner, that's multiple registrations for the different types of entity that you own those properties in. And it's really important to get this done. Not only could you get in trouble for breaching GDPR regulations, but also the Information Commissioner's Office has the power to fine. And their fines are based on revenue, not on profit. So this could have a serious financial consequence to you as well. I hope you found that update useful. I hope if you are a landlord and you didn't know about this, you're getting yourself registered for GDPR as quickly as possible to make sure you're on the right side of the rules. If you like this content, if you'd like to see more, please click like and subscribe and tap on the notification bell. Thank you.
So you can see there's loads more to learn about property investing, and guess what? These videos, they're all ready for you to learn even more. So click either one of these right now, and you can get some more information on how to grow your portfolio. Click the video, that one, either one. Go on.